Concrete stones. A controversial theory that may solve the puzzle of building the pyramids. The method of building the Great Pyramid in Giza still baffles scholars, and despite the development of many theories about the construction process, none of them could gain consensus among scholars, not even convincing those interested in Egyptian antiquities. Among the latest theories developed about the process of building the pyramid was the theory that was called concrete stones or burnt mud years ago, which was developed by a French chemist named Joseph Davidovits. This theory sparked huge controversy in the scientific community and mixed reactions to the maximum degree, as it was able to attract many supporters, especially in the Arab world, who linked it to a Quranic verse talking about one of the pharaohs, while others attacked the theory and accused Davidovits of being a charlatan seeking fame. So what is the story of the concrete stones theory? The beginning of the French scientist Davidovits was quite far from Egyptology, as he was interested in a new branch of science called geopolymer, a science that searches for materials that can be obtained by chemical industrial methods similar to those that occur in nature but may take millions of years, such as making volcanic rocks through chemical reactions that are identical to those rocks that can be found in nature and that take millions of years to form. And Davidovits began producing stones such as limestone, sand and granite, all through chemical reactions, and in order to show the similarity between the manufactured stones and the original stones, he used to carve the manufactured stones as if they were ancient pharaonic statues, and from here his story with the pyramids began. Davidovits put a question: why did the ancient Egyptians not have used a technique similar to the science of geopolymer in the manufacture of pyramid stones? In order to answer this question, Davidovits developed his new theory, in which it is assumed that the stones of the pyramids were not cut as one piece, but were a powder consisting of lime, sodium carbonate, and other materials similar to the mixture of concrete that we are currently using in the construction process, and then this mixture was poured in wooden molds. The stones we see today were eventually produced. Davidovits presented 4 proofs of his theory: scientific proof, experimental proof, a third religious proof based on the ancient Egyptian faith, and a 4th proof inspired by hieroglyphic texts. Davidovits also discovered air bubbles and fibers inside the original pyramid stones after analyzing them, which are signs that were not supposed to appear except in the case of mixing a group of industrial materials, as natural stones do not include these signs. After several experiments, the French scientist was able to make stones similar to the stones of the pyramids, which he installed chemically, and sent samples from them to several laboratories, which replied to him that the stones sent are completely natural, non-artificial stones. In order to further prove his theory, Davidovits built a small pyramid weighing 15 tons of several stones, each stone weighing approximately 2 tons, and documented his experience with audio and video. Davidovits says that based on this theory, the Great Pyramid can be built by 2,000 people within 20 years, which is much less than the number officially adopted by scientists, which is 100,000 people. Despite all this, the theory of concrete stones was not accepted by the Egyptian archaeological school, led by Dr. Zahi Hawass, where Hawass in a previous press statement said that the idea that the stones of the pyramids are manufactured concrete is an impossible and completely unproven idea. It is noteworthy that some supporters of the Davidovits theory said that it confirms what was stated in the Holy Quran and Surat al-Qasas, "So kindle for me, O Haman, on clay, so make me a edifice," pointing out that the stones of the pyramids are nothing but clay mixed with some other materials and it was heated to produce this shape and thickness. The pyramids of Giza are one of the architectural masterpieces that baffle scientists. The pyramids of Giza are one of the architectural masterpieces that baffle scientists. Although they were built nearly 4,500 years ago, those interested in ancient Egyptian civilization have different opinions on how to build these unique edifices. A new study by the World of Physical Geography, Haider Shisha from the University of Aix-Marseille in France, revealed the possibility of building the pyramids of Giza in the presence of a tributary branching from the Nile River that no longer exists today, which allowed the transportation of the materials necessary for the construction process. Dr. Hussein Abdul Basir, director of the Antiquities Museum at the Library of Alexandria and former Director General of the Antiquities of the Pyramids, explained to Sky News Arabia the most prominent features of this study, which revealed many of the secrets of building the pyramids. The French study showed that the ancient Egyptians used waterways from the Nile to the pyramid area to transport stones, and these sewers were present during the days of the Old Kingdom, the era of the 4th dynasty, during the reign of King Khufu, and then dried up after that. The stones for the outer cladding of the pyramid were brought from the Tora area east of the Nile, while the stones for the construction were from the natural rock located at the Giza Plateau. Copper was brought from the mines in Sinai, which was used in the manufacture of tools that were used in the construction work of the pyramid, which was also found in the Khufu boat located near the Great Pyramid of Khufu, which means consistency of opinions with each other. The quarry from which the three pyramids were built was south of the third pyramid, the Pyramid of King Menkaure. The study corresponds with the Wadi al-Jarf papyrus, which was discovered in 2013 near Suez at the Red Sea, and tells of a person named Marar, who was an inspector who came with a group of workers and brought stones from the northern and southern Tora region. In 1990, a cemetery for the builders of the pyramids was discovered in Giza by Dr. Zahi Hawass and his team, which is the physical evidence that the ancient Egyptians were the builders of the pyramids. The American archaeologist Mark Lehner then discovered the living area for the workers, food and accommodation, from which the workers were subsistent during the work on this building. The ascending road, which we call the entrance to the Mina house, is one of the paths that were used to transport stones to build the pyramids, and it is currently used as a place to enter the pyramid area. Pharaonic mysteries are still unsolved. Get to know them. Limestone was used in the outer cladding of the pyramids, and as for the Pyramid of Menkaure, this cladding was made of granite that was brought from Aswan. As for Khufu and Khafra, it was used in the cladding of limestone that was brought from the royal quarries in the Tora region. We have physical evidence that is the tomb of building the pyramids, and textual evidence is the Wadi al-Jarf papyrus, which proves beyond any doubt that the ancient Egyptians were the builders of the pyramids. There is no longer any need for any of the other theories about building the pyramids, such as claiming that aliens did so and others. Regarding the reasons for building the pyramids, Dr. Hussein Abdul Basir confirms that the construction of the pyramids was linked to solar worship. The creation of the universe in ancient Egypt had theories, the most famous of which is the Ain Shams or Heliopolis theory, which assumes that the universe is water from which the earth emerged as a triangular peak representing the rising earth. The idea of the pyramid was associated with the fall of the sun's rays on the earth, whose light gives a hierarchical shape, and from it the ancient Egyptians took the idea of the pyramid. Demolition of the pyramids and the Sphinx. Abd al-Basir adds that in Islamic times, the outer covering of the pyramids was removed, except for a small part at the top of the pyramid, Menkaure, which was used in the construction of Islamic facilities such as Salah al-Din Castle, Baha al-Din Karakash, and others. Abd al-Basir pointed out that the ruler of Egypt, Muhammad Ali Pasha, intended to demolish the three pyramids and build charitable arches with their stones, but a French engineer advised him not to demolish, and he was not convinced of abandoning this idea until he learned that the difference between demolishing the pyramids and using their stones and cutting new stones from quarries it was only 20 millimeters, which saved the pyramids and the Sphinx from demolition and vandalism.